Friction. It's all around us.
You might ask, what is friction? Friction is the resistance created when two surfaces or objects move over each other. Friction is necessary in being able to do life's many activities. We use friction when we run, walk, talk, write, and much more.
While walking, friction keeps us from falling and slipping all over the place.
Now here's some videos about friction.
What is friction? Friction is the reason we are not constantly slipping and sliding on floors, roads, and everywhere. Friction is the force that is created when two surfaces move or try to move across each other. The amount of friction produced during this process depends on the texture of both the surfaces and the amount of contact force that is pushing the two surfaces together. The force acts in the opposite direction to the way an object wants to slide. When you want to stop your bicycle, you press the brake, and your bicycle slows down because of the friction created between the brakes and the wheels. Different solid objects experience different amount of frictions. An eraser on a glass-top table will experience more friction than a coin, which will experience more friction than an ice cube on the same table. Why do you slip and fall when the floor has just been mopped? This is because liquid creates a barrier between the ground and your shoes and makes the friction a lot less. It is because of less friction that you hear of many accidents during monsoons. Even though the friction of the brakes is still there, the brakes may be wet, and the wheels are not in as much contact with the ground because of the water.
Firefighters use friction to control how fast they fall. It's fun! Almost slipped and fell there. See, it's friction that makes your feet stick to the floor. And it's friction that makes your fingers stick to these buttons. And when we make friction smaller, we can make the door slide open easily in its track. Slide open easily in its track. Yeah. See, friction is the force we feel whenever things are rubbing on each other. It's friction that makes this wooden box sort of stick to this table, so it's hard to push, but then it gets easy when it's rolling on these hard metal rollers. It's friction that lets you stand like this, see? My feet are sticking to the floor. If my feet weren't sticking to the floor so well, I couldn't do this. Phew. Take a look at this. It's our friction ramp of science. And it's a little bit tilted, see? Now up here is a triangular weight. Well, gravity is pulling it straight down, but it's not sliding down the ramp. What's holding it there is the force of friction pushing this way. Now watch what happens when we make the ramp steeper. The weight's the same, but the force between the ramp and the weight gets smaller and smaller. And then it slides downhill. It slides downhill. See, the harder things are rubbing together, the more friction there is. Now watch what happens when I push it back. I'll do it a few times. Now, I've been working pretty hard, but the weight hasn't gone anywhere. What happened to all that energy, all that work I did? Well, if you feel the ramp, it's a little bit warm. Friction turned that work into heat. It happens every time. See, friction is everywhere.
Consider, if you will, a world without friction. A world where objects glide smoothly against each other, without resistance, A world where simple actions like dancing would be impossible. A world without friction would be dangerous.